Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Office Hours. I think I should be live now. And hang on. Oh, there's background music, which could cause some problems with YouTube. So let me stop the music. Okay. So, anyway, going back to the intro, welcome to Office Hours. I'll just be chilling here a bit while waiting for you guys to get in. This is just my time to make myself available for you guys and answer any questions that you might have. So you can ask me about things academic or non-academic. I'll do the best to be helpful, the best I can to be helpful to you. Okay, so I'm just gonna start with some word games just to get us going. As per usual, where's my YouTube chat? All right. And again, one more time, you are welcome to just ask me any questions that you have, academic or not. Could be English or not, college, SAT or not. While waiting for your questions, I'll just be chilling here. Kuvan, welcome to the stream. I'm good. Thanks for asking. How are you doing? So, quick reading update. Right now, I'm reading a little bit of Lolita by Nabokov, and that's not one that I think I wanted to. I think it's a little too. It's a little complicated. I don't think that's one that I want to do like a reaction to. Um, I'm also realizing that novels are really not the best for reaction videos. Just they're too long, and I think short stories are much better for reaction videos. So I don't know if anyone has watched my reaction videos for like reading actual literature, but if you have a different opinion than me, just let me know. I'm currently reading Lolita. I'm listening to some Mac Miller because they're releasing a posthumous second album for Mac Miller. So I'm kind of just like I like Mac Miller, but I kind of knew him more through the internet, and so I didn't really listen to his full albums. So I'm listening to some Mac Miller right now, like his 2011, 2010 albums. And movies wise, I haven't watched anything recently. I want to watch Honora and Flo, but I just keep pushing them off. Honora and Flo, those are some movies on my mind. This list was written a year ago, or like it was developed a year ago because I kind of was trying to make a list of books that I could read for my YouTube channels. But I think this is not. I don't know. I don't know what to do exactly with this reading club idea that I had a year ago. I did have some people who would read along with me, so that was pretty dope. But right now, I'm not currently reading anything for reading clubs, so I'm trying to figure out what to do. Is this Notion list in the Discord? It's not in the Discord. Is this a public page? Did I make this a public page? Oh, I did make this a public page just so people could see what I'm reading. I am currently reading Lolita, so should I just write that? I mean, I guess I could. But this was actually kind of meant to be the backlog for what I was thinking would be kind of like a book club idea. So yeah, this is not really. I don't know. I don't really know what to do with the reading club right now. The reading club idea, just because honestly, in terms of the amount of time that I have to do, the amount of time I have left over to do things for fun for free, that like doesn't generate money for me is not that. I don't have that much free time. I do need to make money, so I'm trying to figure out how to. I have an idea of what I want to do for 2025, so some announcements will come. I'll make some announcements when I can, but yeah, I don't know what to do with with the book club idea right now. Sonic 3 What? Man, I didn't even know there was a Sonic 1 or 2. Well, I knew there was a 1. I didn't realize there was a 3. Yes, Jim Carrey. I heard Jim Carrey was good on these, right? Yeah. I heard. Oh, Keanu Reeves. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Wait, let me just jump down to the Angels, some sort of script. Okay. I kind of just want to see Carrie because I haven't seen Carrie in a long time. So maybe I will watch Sonic 3 just because of. I mean, he obviously doesn't physically come out, but even his voice is a very physical voice. Um, Best entry in the series yet with 86% positive. Impressive. Okay. Uh, Fourth wall breaking was not as impactful given Ryan Reynolds' exceeding success with Deadpool. Sonic was lovable. Okay, cool. This seems kind of fun. This seems like an asinine script. Okay, Polygon said contrasted with the utter sincerity of Reeves, which that makes it sound funny. That actually seems kind of funny. That combination seems actually very funny. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll maybe I'll watch this. Maybe I will watch this. My girlfriend would be like, Why would I watch this?" But okay, I would consider watching this. All right. By the way, guys, I'm just chatting with you guys in chat, so you can chat with me casually, like Kuban is doing. But you can also ask me any questions that you have. I'm welcoming any questions on SAT, maybe AP classes, or just general English classes, or college applications should be basically almost like, except for very few deadlines that go into like mid-January, you should be basically all done. But if you have any thoughts on that, you can ask me questions on that as well. Okay, so yeah, music. Yeah, I already did my books, music, and movies recap, so I'm going to continue. Let's just do a quick Wordle. Well, this is awful. Like, W and F are so rare. It would be such a horrible guess, but I'm just going to do it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cle, cle, okay. Graduate is, first of all, very broad because it depends on what your um, program is. So maybe we should start there. Uh, like, you're going for graduate studies in Muir, so I'm gonna look for that. Oh, oh wait, actually, so I don't even know. I don't know the British system very well. So let's. Oh, MJUR. Oh, law. Oh, okay. Well, okay. This I didn't even know that this is what they called it in England, but got it. Um, so if we're going for law, oof, I only know how. Like, honestly, you just it's pretty clear cut what you need to do for law schools in America, but and I assume it's actually probably just as clear cut in the UK, but this is just not an area of expertise for me. So, um, in America, you just need a good college GPA and you need a good LSAT score, and you need to write a written work in a couple of days. Oh, dude, yes, Oxford. See, wait, I have a question for that. Do you actually have to go to the campus and do the writing? No, right? They give you a prompt on like a Friday, and then you have to submit it by like Sunday, something like that. Actually, now I'm just curious. But while if you can answer my question about exactly what the requirement is, but also, oh well, hey, that's not as intense as I was expecting. But if you could be a little bit more specific about what you're struggling with or what you're feeling awkward about, then that might be I might be able to be more helpful because right now it's such a broad topic and this is not a topic that I have a lot of experience with, so I can't really say that much at the general level. But if there's a specific problem, like a writing problem or a or a like a approach slash research problem, then maybe I could help you there. Um, Publications, okay. Okay, references, transcript, resume, personal statement of 300 words only, and then one written work, and that's what you're talking about. Okay. So unfortunately, you probably can't change your GPA unless you bribe your institution or something like that. But I think when it comes to a 2,000 word essay and it has to be on a legal topic, that's different from America, right? Um, it could be an extract from a longer piece, but and it doesn't need to be okay. So it doesn't have to be research formatted, but you do need to have some sort of okay. So it has to be a legal topic, which again, that is the big difference with the American systems. But an understand problems in the area. So there is an implicit research requirement, which is that you just happen to you just have to know. You just have to know your field of law. Um, it honestly, if I could like kind of backtrack, I would say, dude, if you had like written like a law blog for the last like 3 or 4 or 5 years, or even just 1 year, then you would have so much material to work with that this writing process would be so much easier. Um, so I think right now, my initial question to you would be, what have you written already, right? And I think you probably want to start with something that you have written already, um, because yeah, because you gotta show this is like an academic assignment, right? You have to have the knowledge requirement, and then your writing requirement here, uh, which is all of this. So you need to have the knowledge and the skills. And what is a better opportunity for your knowledge and your skills to be expressed than to be actually forced to show your stupid essay to your professor at school, and then and then and then have it get graded. So yeah, my initial question. I'm gonna go around to Math Bra for a bit and then switch back around to you. But my question right now is, what have you already written? And you've never written an English article. You already wrote. You already said that. Let me just quickly reply to Math Bra first. AP Lang rhetoric essays. How do you yap a lot? um, so when I do AP Lang rhetoric tutoring, one of the first things I do is I get my students to just um, what do you call it? We take an old rhetorical analysis passage, and then and I put it into Google Docs form, and I make them use the notes feature in Google Docs to write as many notes as possible with unlimited time. Okay, so I don't care about how many, like, I don't care about your ability to come up with a structured essay in, like, the outline for an essay in like 5 or 10 minutes. I actually care more about just the pure maximum number of comments you can make. Okay, and so that's the initial exercise that I do, and you could just do it for yourself. Take a rhetorical analysis passage and just really highlight the parts that you can make a comment on, and then just write comments on them, right? What do you notice? So don't make it just a noun. Like, don't just say synecdoche, or don't just say metonym. That's not that useful. Okay, you have to try at least to connect it to some reason that this wording or this phrasing might exist in this essay or in this speech, right? And try to make as many comments as possible. Honestly, even for like very bright students that I have in like American private schools, they go to like American private schools. Usually these essays or speeches are like, 2 columns. So I think they're like in the range of like 500 to 700 words. Even my very smart students, they only come up with like 10 comments or less. Okay, it's very, very small. And then I show them my version of the same exercise, and then I come up with something like, I don't know, it's been a while since I've done AP Lang, but like maybe like 25 comments or something like that. And I'm just saying, you want, like, the big surprise is that you can comment on so many things in any one of these speeches, and the ability to do that, okay, the ability to do that comes from just doing overkill for a while. If you just overkill every like, let's say at school they assign you just like, an hour long sit down writing test, right? But if you can actually just get that, like, even if you've already done the school assignment and it's already gotten graded, or it's about to get graded because you submitted to your teacher, like, if you just overkill it, like, just take the PDF or take that file and then just go home and then just overkill it. Just do like a super intense like annotation of that passage. That will train your brain to just see more things. And so that's my initial just directional advice. Now, I can give more specific advice if you give me more specific questions, but directionally, you need to keep training yourself to see much more than the bare minimum. What are you looking for? Are you looking for 2 examples times 3 paragraphs? So you're just looking for 6 examples total, right? Stop going for the bare minimum. You want to go for way more than the bare minimum. And when you keep doing that over and over and over again, it'll become so easy to just pick and choose. Like, oh, these 2 or 3 definitely can become 1 paragraph because I'm choosing 2 or 3 out of a large pool, right? Like, I have choices. So that's my general direction that I would like to point you in for AP Lang rhetorical analysis essays. Going back to Kuvan, you studied in Uzbek, so never in English, okay? Okay, so I see what the problem is now. Writing for approaches to legal regulation of AI. Okay, awesome topic. Now, does it seem like I'm gonna just assume, going back to this part, I'm gonna assume that the knowledge portion is satisfied. That we're not gonna really improve the knowledge portion. So this is the skill portion, right? And this is what I'll focus on. The problem right now that Kuvan is facing is you have all the knowledge contained in an Uzbek language essay or thesis that you have to write for your undergrad. Okay, but you need to be able to express your English skill level and potentially even your argumentation skill because maybe the original arguments when you're writing it for that assignment, when you're writing the thesis, maybe the original argument is not very good. I'm gonna not worry about this part, okay, actually, because I'm just gonna hope that you already had good arguments when you were writing this for your uh, for your um, for your undergrad program. So I'm gonna focus on this part. And in this situation, honestly, I have some serious concerns about ChatGPT as a educator, as an educator, as somebody who teaches, because I want you guys to be able to think, and want you to be able to analyze. And ChatGPT is really harming your ability to do this. Okay, but if I were you, I would experiment with a couple prompts. Okay, and just initially just try to get ChatGPT to translate my own thoughts into Uzbek. Okay, sorry, from Uzbek into English. Uh, hang on. No, I wouldn't do it that way. You know why? Because that would make me lazy. Doing it that way would make me lazy. I would actually do it the other way around. First, I would try to make a translation. Not necessarily a sentence for sentence translation, but basically I'm reading my original source material and then I'm writing in English to the best of my ability. Okay? And I just do that first. And maybe if you don't have the motivation, you need to just like give yourself time limit. Just lock yourself in a room for like 3 hours or something like that. Maybe get your parents involved. I don't know, but just write the translation first. Okay. Again, it doesn't have to be a word for word, sentence for sentence translation. You're actually just re-expressing it back in English. Okay. Then I would do the ChatGPT prompting. Uh, and because you've already put the work into every single sentence, you'll find that the ChatGPT translation is very interesting. Like it'll be fun to read the ChatGPT translation because you've already done the initial translation on your own. Because you'll be like, oh, I definitely didn't think about phrasing my Uzbek thought in this way, in this English way, you know? So you'll notice a bunch of similar, and you'll even probably notice a couple similarities now that I think about it. Like, oh, ChatGPT and I really had the same phrasing. Is that a problem or is that not a problem? Like, you'll have a lot of thoughts while you're doing this. So if you compare your initial translation from Uzbek into English, your sort of pure translation, and then the ChatGPT translation, you'll kind of learn what other options there are. Now, I haven't really done a lot of tinkering with ChatGPT for writing purposes, but I would then probably do something a little unhinged, like I'll try to get ChatGPT to translate the Uzbek one into English, but instead of just like regular English, maybe I'll do like Shakespearean English. Now that would be a little too unhinged for a law school one, but just to get you an idea of how, just to stretch your range a little bit, try to avoid that sort of like AI speak, right? So try to get it to sound like someone else. I mean, I guess you could do the Gen Z brain rot speak. uh, uh, so, but that wouldn't be very fun. It's kind of overplayed, and I don't think any law school wants to hear any brain rot. But just to get the idea out there, you want to have something that doesn't sound like AI speak. Okay, so then you will have one version that's yours, one version that's just the general AI speak, the sort of like the bland crush of humanity as filtered through the internet speak, and then the sort of like weird, funky, kind of offbeat speak, and just kind of sort of bouncing off of those three. I would then just apply my final choices into the sentences. I'll kind of mix and match according to what I think sounds good. Now, going back to, so Kuvan, I'm going to come back to you later, but I see Muaz, and Muaz is saying 1460, watching the videos. Yo, congratulations. I'm super happy that I could have helped you. And sounds like you're a pretty smart person to be able to just watch my videos and then figure it out just from there. So, yeah, I'm happy that I could help. Uh, and there are prompts to humanize your AISs as well. Yeah, that's also I haven't really done a lot of prompt engineering experimentations with writing because partly because I'm a little narcissistic. I just like my own writing, so I don't really have that much curiosity how you know. So, uh, but also it's because I'm not writing that much these days. If I wrote more these days, I would probably use ChatGPT a lot more these days. Yeah, so maybe I bet there are other people out in the world that have much better prompt engineering ideas for writing. But yeah, the way I would approach it is I would take my initial thing and I would translate it. And Kuvan, earlier you said that you cannot finish this work without ChatGPT. Dude, I know I'm gonna push back a little bit unless it's literally maybe it's literally due 1 minute from now because it's 9 a.m. Sorry, it's midnight. It's about to become midnight. It's 11:59 in England right now. Um, but literally, you'll be surprised how much better it is when you just fucking suffer. Okay, when you suffer for your writing. All right. Like I said, lock yourself in a room for 3 hours. Right. Don't let yourself come out. Um, um, do like if you have to take a break, then you can only do like push-ups in that room or something like that. Maybe have a big timer outside. Maybe even tell your parents, so then show your parents this is my Uzbek essay. To print it out on paper, and then tell them that in 3 hours you're gonna have an English version. But just freaking do it in 3 hours, right? I don't believe that you don't have 3 hours. And then when you have your own baseline, then ChatGPT can be used to sauce up your baseline. But if you have zero baseline, then you just take ChatGPT and you try to fix ChatGPT, you're going to become dependent on it, and it's going to make the writing weak. Not unforgivably weak, because ChatGPT is never unforgivably weak, right? ChatGPT is always passably okay, but it's like yeah, it's like the choice of uh, you know what? Like if I'm like a sculptor, right? If I start with wood, if I start with wood as my block for my sculpture, there's a sort of upper limit on how awesome that my sculpture can be. And if I start with marble as my starting material, then there is a different upper limit on how awesome that my sculpture can be. Like, no matter how like, just wood is amazing. I love wood, but it just will never the best wood sculpture will just never look as awesome as the best marble sculpture. The highs are much higher with marble, right? And so I'm just saying that with ChatGPT, you're starting with wood, and with your own writing, you're starting with marble. So that's my challenge to you. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're doing too many. Maybe you literally don't have 3 hours. In which case, shame on you. You procrastinated way too much. Now you just have to deal with the consequences of that, and maybe you'll do better on the next time that you have a deadline. But yeah, you gotta, you gotta, yeah. But that's a separate issue. Graduate classes in Getty. Congratulations, dude. Full tuition. That's awesome. That's freaking awesome. And I can't tell, but your name, it doesn't sound very Americanized. Although maybe, you just, maybe you are American and you kind of grew up just as Muaz. But if you got full tuition as an international student, hell yeah. Dude, like double hell yeah. So congratulations. Graduate classes. Oh, and by the way, I do need to move on to the members only section of my stream. I really only have an hour to stream total, so I'm gonna spend 30 minutes for everybody, and then 30 additional minutes in a more private setting for people who want to support me through YouTube. So members will be able to chat with me for 30 more minutes after this. But let me just quickly finish off any last questions or chat replies that I have coming my way. So might as well switch over because I'm no longer reading this thing. Graduate classes as an undergraduate, how does it help your application? It should just come out in your transcript, honestly. It should come out in your transcript. And is it worth the 300 words? So basically in Kuvan, the transcript should show your performance at those schools. And if it's in Europe, then the UK, then Oxford should know about those schools and relative competitiveness of those programs. So you probably don't need to explain too much because those admissions offices should already know at least general background information about those schools. And they can interpret the data for themselves, right? So if you got like, if you got like high marks on like your legal elective courses in Europe somewhere, then they can just interpret that data on their own. Now, you can also interpret that data for them, right? But is it worth the 300? Is it worth, let's say, 50 words out of the 300 words in your personal statement? Is it worth 100 words? Is it worth 300 words? That is ultimately a decision about strategy, and that is not something I don't have the ability to help you with a decision. I can't make a decision about your strategy without knowing, first of all, everything, and also ultimately a third party like me should never be making your strategy decisions for you. You kind of have to, make those decisions on your own ultimately. Have not, wait, what's the subject of that sentence? Who have not reviewed your grades? Who have not reviewed your grades? Because I can't really, they have not received your grades. Oh, you have not received. You've not received your grades. Oh, again, that's still a strategy question. That is it's okay. Maybe it is worth it. Maybe it's worth 50. Maybe it is worth 50 words out of 300 words. But I'm just saying those 300 words. You got to think of, like, you have to not choose. The problem with being a cool person, guys, is that you always have like a million good things to say. So good is not good enough. You need to have great, right? You need to choose out of the million good things that you have to say. You have to choose like the three great things that you could say and stick them into that essay, because you don't have unlimited an unlimited word count, right? So the selection of great means you have to sacrifice a lot of good, okay? And it's a painful experience, right? Because it's like, oh man, but I did this and I did this and I did that. But like, which one do you choose, right? You don't just choose the good one, you choose the great ones, right? And and even then that feels painful, like, because sometimes even the great, sometimes you have to call that too because of just because of the word limit. So it's a painful process. And my general I guess the only general thing I could say about this is, like, pretend you get lucky, okay? And you pretend you get lucky and you're stuck in an elevator with one person, okay, going up like 20 floors, and that person happens to be the law school admissions officer at your law school, Okay? In that moment, they've already have your transcript, they already have all the other background information on you. If you could just speak to him for 1 minute, or her for 1 minute, what would you say? And I want you to take the first idea that comes to mind, and probably you'll have to throw it away, because I want you to write the second thing that comes to mind, and the third thing that comes to mind, and the fourth thing that comes to mind, and the 10th and the 20th thing that comes to mind. And out of all the different things you can say in literally just a 1 minute, it's probably not the first thing that comes to mind that is the most impressive, the thing that's gonna stick in their mind the most. Okay, so really, I want you to, it's painful. It's painful because there's so many cool things you can say about yourself if you are a cool person, but you gotta just choose the one that will really stick in their head. Okay, so the question is, does your Europe experience meet that bar? Right? Will it be the one? Will it be the one thing you'll really say about yourself? Right? It's just a mind. It's a mental exercise to help you just filter out some of the good but not great stuff that you wanna talk about. And maybe it is great. I don't know. I mean, that's a decision you have to make. I'll just answer this last question about myself, and then I'm going to move over to the members only part of the stream. If you're not a member, I still appreciate you for just subscribing and interacting with me, and I'm happy to be able to help you guys with my limited time in these office hours streams. I'm going to continue doing the office hours streams for the foreseeable future, although I may have some big announcements coming along the way that might change my YouTube approach. So just for now, I'll be here every week, same time, Sundays in Europe, Asia, and then a second stream for Sundays in North America, in the Americas. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next stream. But just to quickly answer this question, I went to University of Chicago, and my major was Fundamentals, Issues, and Text, which is a great books major. A great books major is kind of like literature, kind of like philosophy, but basically my major require. If you see a copy of my transcript or my academic transcript, like the classes that I took, instead of things like, I don't know. Introduction to phenomenology or Victorian Gothic, right? That could be like a Victorian Gothic. Sure, those are course names for like English or philosophy departments. My course names are like Brothers Karamazov or The Odyssey or Genesis, or so that's the way my course was developed. It's developed around books. So that was me. Okay, guys. So thanks for joining, and for anyone who is supporting my channel as a member, you can chat with me in the members only section. All right. Until next time, keep on learning, keep on growing. Peace.